the AFC Championship game.
The playoffs, there are few places tougher on a visiting team than this one. Sold out at Power Field at Mile High in Denver. Straight ahead, a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl, and it should be a great one, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the Denver Broncos. On the Texans sideline, head coach DeMeco Ryans. His guys have played well in their 2 playoff wins, but they've got a tall task here on Championship Sunday. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys outlasted the top seeds in the conference, so they've certainly earned the right to host this championship game. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. And takes this near the 25, just a little past there, call it the 26. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And we can talk all we want about football being a...
And right away, he lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
To put it mildly, that is not the way anyone wants to start off a game. You fumble on your first offensive snap. But now what you're worried about is, does that linger throughout the game for your guys on offense? And how's the defense going to handle it? Because no one expects to run out on the field on the first play and have to all of a sudden start to play themselves.
So out come the Texans in great starting field position. And a look here now at their 4th-year quarterback.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players and one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Stroud out of the gun here. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. From the 7, it's 2nd and 5. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 3rd down and 6. Now Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Jaden Higgins, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are on the board first here in this AFC Championship game. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, got a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On play action, here's Nix. He's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Danielle Hunter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
To throw, here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd.
To throw is Nix. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. Would be ideal.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
First down.
It's been a long season, but he still looks fresh running the football. He knows his guys are 1 game away from the Super Bowl, so he's going to give it all he's got, and that's a heck of a run right there.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Here now at 3rd down and 8. Throwing now is Stroud. This pass complete to Higgins. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
At the 23-yard line.
They'll go play action with Nix. They'll get that complete to Franklin. Down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 2nd catch of this AFC title game, and he's got a first down.
And the Broncos, first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now it's Nix. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40. A gain of 22.
That's good for our Broncos. First down. First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 3. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground.
Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start with the option. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Stroud. Throw right side, taken in by Collins. Here's 3rd and 3.
A gain of 4.
And Stroud now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes out right around the 39.
And the Texans, first down.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Under pressure, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. Stroud working out of the gun. That's complete. It's Collins. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. A solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Okay, so they'll march backwards on the penalty there.
I don't know about you, partner. I thought that was maybe a little bit of a ticky-tack type of a call. Was that a clear block in the back when he got his man off balance? I thought that was a tough one.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Brings up 2nd down.
Nix to the air. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
A gain of 11 makes it third.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. And this offense on third down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Only a yard on the sneak, not enough. And he's a few inches short for 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
Houston set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Stroud looking to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Collins. They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And the Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23.
Brought down at the 23-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down.
Mixon again.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
To 3rd and 11.
Stroud to throw it. He'll let this go deep for Collins. And got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins, 77 yards. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. On this stage, conference championship game, every play is magnified, and that was a big play.
No doubt about it. One thing that has these guys a step away from a shot at a big game, their big play ability. They can strike from anywhere.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Texans.
That time a 6-play drive. And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Denver's offense now set to go. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Off the bootleg. Here's Nix. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it's 2nd down.
To number 87. 4 yards on the pickup.
Here's Nix.
2nd and 6.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
First down.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Nix once more. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 40.
That's good for a Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
35-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd down.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing Nix. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
A 53-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now is not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
And now out comes Houston. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
2nd and 7. Inside handoff to Nixon. And it's a fumble. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
So the Broncos coming out now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
A gain of 17 yards. That's another Broncos first down. 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll run with Dobbins. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
6-yard line.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Nix. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Will Anderson drops him again for the second straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
The kick by Lutz is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. That's complete to Dell. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker try on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
A gain of 12 yards. That's good for a Broncos.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
A loss of 7. Brings up 2nd and 17.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Got a man open, it's Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Here's Nico Collins, and this offense getting set to go for another drive. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Now a pause for the injury, and that is as Joe Mixon clearly in some discomfort following that last play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This 2nd and 4. First carry now for David Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. 3rd and 4.
By Drew Sanders. No gain on the play. It's now 3rd and 4.
Here's Stroud. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Texans, first down. A gain of 9 yards. And the Texans, first down.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one?
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Dobbins running out of the gun. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
First down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off, and try and chip someone at the second level.
A pretty big play now in this AFC Championship, 3rd and goal. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Touchdown, Broncos! J.K. Dobbins, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Quick throw by Stroud, complete out wide. From the 31, here's 2nd and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 31-yard.
Mixing up the middle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Stroud. Got his man, Dell. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
It's a gain of 11.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've got momentum on their side. They were once down 14-0. Now it's even at 14 as they look to put together a drive to get them the lead. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
A 7-yard pickup.
On play action, here's Nix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Off the play fake. Nix. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Franklin. Still going. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. 59 yards. And the Broncos have scored again in this 3rd quarter. This time to move out in front. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that country. Aren't any speed limits out there. And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Houston's offense taking over again. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Stroud. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. And Stroud now to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Texans send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. The Broncos about set to go on offense. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's 2nd and 10.
Gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
To throw is Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Now it's Nix. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Texans will take over. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 36, Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. He's got his running back out of the backfield. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 36. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8 at the Broncos' 44-yard line.
Stroud off the play fake. And the Broncos get there and take him down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
But tell the statistician to add another one to their impressive total today. Great week for the defensive front. A tough one for that offensive line. Quarterback getting right back behind that line, hoping for more time to attempt a likely 3rd down pass.
A tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
It's a gain of 32. First down, Texans.
And there's an example of not taking your practice work, your drill work, and turning it into game speed. You work on that all the time. Third and long, you want to let them make the catch, rally to the football, tackle them short of the sticks. The pursuit there, not that great.
Yeah, not great. That may be an understatement. That turned into a big play. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Stroud to throw it. Throw over the middle is taken in by Dell. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. Stroud keeps it. And he's going to be touched down right at the line of scrimmage.
It's a gain of a yard. That's another.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with it back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Mixon. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
And goal at the 1-yard line.
Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. 3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. And he'll get in. He's over for a touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21.
Ties the game at 21.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was C.J. Stroud who finished off that drive with the touchdown run. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown, so every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. From the 41, here's 2nd down and 3. Nix to the air. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now a first carry for their fullback. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
3rd down and 7.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
A gain of 5.
Here's Nix. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
The penalty certainly makes things tougher here as they try again. 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. A field goal would tie the game. A touchdown, of course, gives them the lead. Boy, the drama intensifying on every single play with a Super Bowl berth on the line. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Stroud working out of the gun. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. Now a 3rd and 6. Stroud looking to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well in time there. And now 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. To throw, here's Nix. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. A turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
It's now 2nd and 10.
They'll go play action with Nix. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Throwing Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Dobbins trying the left side. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
At the 45-yard line.
Off the play fake. Here's Nix. He'll air this one out from Mims. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Incomplete. He was defended by Jalen Petrie.
Nix from the shotgun. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Look at the big fella go. And he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Back to throw. Nix. Touchdown! Marvin Mims. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Broncos will add to their fourth-quarter lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play one snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play, got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
What's good on the extra point? And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Broncos 31.
So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Houston set to take over. And they are in need of points here, no doubt about that. With a Super Bowl berth on the line and trailing here in the fourth quarter, this possession gigantic. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on the play.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. Caught left side, here's Dell. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
Push or foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try to rise up and overcome it.
2nd and 5. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now.
A 3-yard pickup.
Throwing now is Stroud. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. A rifles one that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Riley Moss. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he can do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And the pieces have fallen into place to this point. They've got a 2-score lead in the 4th quarter. A berth to the Super Bowl resting on their ability to see this one through to the end. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8. At the 47-yard line.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. Boy, shifts past him. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. But now he appears to be in some pain. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. And it's nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
Leads to 2nd and 10.
Well, they run the option on 2nd down. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Back to throw. Nix setting up a screen for Harvey. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That's going to bring up fourth down. Only a gain of 2 there. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Now he'll tuck this and run. That's some good running from Stroud, and he gets them the first down.
A 7-yard gain. And the Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
At the 23-yard line.
Now Stroud. And his throw here's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Stroud out of the gun here. Open man is Collins. He's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Stroud now on 4th down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
And the Texans first down.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. Here's Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Stroud. And the Broncos get there and take him down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he is going to have a Texans first down. And they convert in style right there. A big play on 4th and long. An option handoff here to Mixon. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
He's brought down at the 30.
Stroud to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down, Houston.
Here's a quick throw caught by Higgins.
Complete to Jaden Higgins. It's a gain of 5.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's over the middle into the hands of Noel. Well, this crowd trying to force a false start here. 3rd and inches. Stroud to throw it. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
For the field goal, a 33-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Denver's offense ready to go again. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. The give to the fullback on the dive. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. But you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So Stroud and the Texans down by 7. A minute 25 to play. They need a touchdown to keep their Super Bowl hopes alive as they come up on 1st down. They begin with a run by Mixon. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call.
Offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Now Stroud. Connecting with Mixon. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd down.
Here's Stroud. To the right side and caught by Dell. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
First down. It's a gain of 20.
And they get up on it quickly and spike it with just a little over 50 seconds to go. Stroud. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Here's Stroud. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Stroud back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that may put a period on this AFC Championship game. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. 2 for 4, 2 for 3 before that. They finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for them, doesn't it, Brandon? The idea that you've done it all that hard work, all that sweating, all that effort, all those times you're getting yelled at by your coach, and now you get to go to the Super Bowl. Put your hats on, guys, and say AFC champs.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from the Super Bowl.